This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the mark of the masses. I am the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I'm sorry for missing last week, ladies and gentlemen, but I just wasn't feeling well. But I am back. It is 9/27/2012, and it's TNA Impact. A lot of stuff went down this week in Impact. The Aces and Eights situation still not resolved. We still don't know who the leader is, even though I have a really good idea now on who the leader is. And again, I can't really spill the beans as to who I think the leader is. I would like to know who you guys think the leader is. I know you guys have left a couple of comments below on the YouTube page, but I would like to know who you guys think the leader is of Aces and Eights. I ask this almost every week. Now, if I'm correct, I have a really good feeling. Let's just say that the leader of Aces and Eights, let's just say he's from back in the day, and there's a lot of black and white in his past. Anyway, we move on. So we kick off the show, ladies and gentlemen, with a recap of what happened the week before. And I missed the week, and apparently you have Shaquille O'Neal. You have James Storm beating the living daylights out of Bobby Roode. You have Joseph Park being held hostage. I mean, a whole lot of stuff happened last week. Well, this week was no different. A lot of stuff happened this week. We'll move on, and we'll see Hulk Hogan, brother, coming down the aisle. He comes into the ring, and he basically he cuts a promo stating that he hasn't really been focused much on what's been going on business-wise. He says the Aces and Eights has basically consumed him, and he addresses the Devon situation. And a couple of weeks ago, it's pretty sad to see Devon go. I'm glad TNA kept Bully Ray. That's again, you guys know how I feel about Bully Ray. I wish they could have kept Devon too, but I really don't see Devon as a huge loss. All due respect to Devon, he is awesome. But so basically Devon, the negotiations didn't go well. So the TV title is up for grabs this week. So Hulk Hogan addresses the TV title situation. He addresses the Roode Storm situation. He basically says, you know what, look, this is it. And again, I hope that this is the culmination and the end of a pretty good rivalry between two ex-tag team partners. I'd like to know what you guys think. But we have Hulk Hogan basically says that what he's going to do is he is going to end it at Bound for Glory. It's going to be Roode versus Cowboy James Storm, and it's going to be a street fight. And the ref, or the enforcer, will be MMA fighter King Mo, who, if you guys know, signed a contract with TNA. I don't know if he's going to be a referee, if he's going to be in the ring. If you guys know, I would like to, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think King Mo's role will be with TNA Wrestling. But interesting. So King Mo is going to be the referee or the enforcer for this match at Bound for Glory. And we move on, and we see Hulk Hogan continuing talking about now the whole Aces and Eights situation. And Hulk Hogan had promised last week that he would go down to the clubhouse. Well, after Hulk Hogan basically cuts his promo, Sting comes down the aisle. Hulk Hogan looks surprised. And Sting comes down the aisle and says, you know what, dude? You're not going down. You're not going by yourself. I'm coming with you. And Hulk Hogan says, you know what, brother? Grab two bats, dude. Hulk Hogan and Sting are looking to go and take care of Aces and Eights. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. Okay, so now we move on. We have Kurt Angle versus Chavo Guerrero versus Christopher Daniels. Now we know at Bound for Glory they're going to have the tag team three-way dance to settle who will be the tag team champions. Right now, Kaz and Daniels have the tag team titles. Again, I love the fact that the WWE and TNA are both emphasizing on tag team wrestling. Again, I grew up on tag team wrestling, and I think tag team wrestling is not only the past, but I believe it's the future. Ladies and gentlemen, not everybody can hold a singles title. Sometimes you have to slap on the tag team titles on two guys, but they have to work together. It has to work out together. Right now, the WWE has Kane and has Daniel Bryan. And the Mass Tweeter X is not a big fan of this tag team. For one hand, I think it's great. I think actually they work really well together. You have the power of Kane, you have the experience of Kane, you have the youth and athleticism with Danny O'Brien. But anyway, that's WWE. This is TNA. And right now we have a match between, again, Kurt Angle, Chavo Guerrero, and Daniels, and it was a pretty decent match. Basically, we're gonna catch the match where we have Daniels in the ankle lock, Kurt Angle about to take him out, Chavo Guerrero going to the top rope. I don't know what the hell he was gonna do, but basically, Kurt Angle sees this, he lets go of the ankle lock, knocks Chavo Guerrero off the top rope, and in what I think was probably, I don't know if I wouldn't say sloppy. Again, I'm not a professional wrestler, but the ending was a little awkward. Maybe it's just me. I'd like to know what you guys think. Kurt Angle gets pushed into the corner. He goes down, and then Chavo gets hit with an STO by Daniels, and I don't know. Again, to me, watching it on TV, it didn't have the impact that I thought deserved the 1, 2, 3 count. But again, this show is opinion based, and this is my opinion. So basically, Daniels goes over Chavo, and he goes over Kurt Angle with a, I would say, an almost subpar STO. Anyway, well, that match is over. They're setting up the big 3-way dance for the pay-per-view. We move on backstage, and we have Hulk Hogan backstage, and he's addressing the contenders for the TV title, and the contenders would be Mr. Anderson, Garrett Bischoff, which I feel personally, I'm not a big fan of Garrett Bischoff. I don't think he really deserves to be there. And then we have Samoa Joe, who is one of my all-time favorites, and we have Magnus, who I'm watching Magnus every week, and more, I think this guy has a lot of good heel potential. I do not see him as a babyface. I think he has a little bit of that William Regal about him, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I think Magnus down the line could do a little something for TNA. I don't think he'll be WWE material anytime soon, but I can see him do something for TNA, a little on a larger scale down the line. I think Magnus has got it. But anyway, we move on, and Hulk Hogan is basically addressing him, and then we move on again, and we go backstage, and we have Tara backstage on her cell phone, on her new, I'm assuming it's an iPhone 5. She said she was standing online for the phone. What other phone do you stand online for? Anyway, but Brooke Hogan is trying to get her attention, and Tara's backstage. And ladies and gentlemen, by no means do I ever say that I am the best looking guy on this earth. I won't even say I'm a good looking guy. But my God, the lighting backstage was horrible. Tara looked like she was 96 years old. And Brooke Hogan looked like Hulk Hogan. I kid you not. But anyway, I mean, this, again, my opinion, really bad lighting. I think TNA, you should maybe kind of tweak a little things here. She looked horrible. Anyway, so they go backstage, and they're going back and forth. And basically, Brooke is trying to get her attention because she's trying to let Tara know that she will be having a match tonight. Tara, again, trying to ignore her. Brooke takes the cell phone and tells her to basically get her way to the ring. She will have a fight tonight. Well, who's her opponent? We'll find out soon. We move on. So now we have a backstage marathon, a series of backstage events. You guys know how I feel about the backstage stuff with TNA. When it comes to backstage, not so good. When it comes to wrestling, best in the business. But we see Bruce Pritchard backstage with Al Snow, and he's basically, I guess, putting Al Snow in his place, saying, "Listen, man, you are an agent. You work for TNA. You are not a wrestler. What do you want to do? Do you want to wrestle, or do you want to be an agent?" Referring to the Joey Ryan situation where he basically got the taste slapped out of his mouth by Al Snow. But he was called unprofessional by Bruce Pritchard. But anyway, the fact is that this is the whole gut check situation. They get in the back, and they're talking about the kid Evan, and Taz comes in, and they start discussing the gut check the gut check kid, Evan. I can't even say his last name, so I'm not even going to try. But anyway, you know, they're talking about how he's great, but he's 18 years old. Anyway, we're going to find out later on. But we have Hulk Hogan backstage, and Hulk Hogan has Garrett Bischoff, Samoa Joe, and Mr. Anderson backstage. Now, I really want, if you guys haven't watched the show, watch the show again, because something is kind of, anyway. Hulk Hogan decides to pick Joe and Anderson for the TV title match. When he tells Garrett Bischoff that he's not ready, Garrett Bischoff gives him a look. Didn't just give him a look like, all right, you know, you got it, boss. He gave him that look like, all right, you're not going to pick me? Cool. I'm going to get you back. Is Daddy going to get involved? Is Daddy already involved? I guess we're going to find out. Anyway, we go backstage and we see Bobby Roode. And he is trying to get in Austin Aries' head. Again, they're trying to create heat for this match. Originally, I was a supporter of Bully Ray fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we all know that, you know, soon Jeff Hardy's contract will be up with TNA. So I believe that they're going to put the title on Jeff Hardy and give him a nice long run, and they're going to really, really push Jeff Hardy. I'm sorry, yes, Jeff Hardy. I was going to say Matt Hardy. I don't know why, but anyway. But they're gonna push Jeff Hardy really hard. This is what I feel. This is what I think is gonna happen. I'd like to know what you guys think. Again, Jeff Hardy is a phenomenal wrestler. He's been through a lot. I think he deserves it. I think he's done a great job coming back from his issues, conquering his demons, and I think Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries feud would be actually pretty cool if Austin Aries turns heel. I like Austin Aries. I like him as a babyface, but as a heel, man, he is fantastic. On top of the fact that he is probably, besides Danny O'Brien, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. CM Punk. I gotta tell you, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of match they're gonna put on for Bound for Glory. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Okay, so now we have the TV title match. Again, if you guys have watched my previous videos, you know that I think the television title is a great springboard for young talent to eventually become the World Heavyweight Champion, or to see if they can hold the title and put that title over. Or it can be for a veteran who's trying to reestablish himself. I'm a big fan of the TV title. Also, being the TV title, it is a title that should be defended every single week on television. Well, anyway, we have Samoa Joe versus Anderson, or Mr. Anderson, and they put on a good match, a quick match actually, for a championship match. And the match, it was a physical match, a very physical match, good match. And Samoa Joe does some things, man. I know TNA hasn't been too hot on Samoa Joe over the last couple of months, but I think Samoa Joe kind of reminds me of Bam Bam Bigelow. He does some things that a 300-pound guy just shouldn't do. Really, really talented. Anyway, so towards the end of the match, we basically have Samoa Joe getting rolled up for a pin, and he ends up reversing it, and he ends up putting Mr. Anderson in a reverse rear naked choke. I didn't think the match was going to end, but he does. He beats Mr. Anderson clean. Now, when TNA first brought Mr. Anderson into TNA, was it just me, or did you just think that this guy was going to be a champion, like a perennial world heavyweight champion? I'm a little disappointed, Mr. Anderson. I'm a little disappointed in the fact that he hasn't lived up to the hype when he brought him in. I would like to know what you guys think. Where do you think they go with Mr. Anderson? I mean, he was beat pretty clean in this match. Samoa Joe is Samoa Joe, but again, my thoughts are on Mr. Anderson. I wasn't too impressed with. I haven't been too impressed with his run in TNA. Again, my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. But yes, so we have a new TV champ, and not only that, but Samoa Joe is a Grand Slam champ. He's held every title in TNA, and now this is something funny. They kept flashing the picture of the television title, which you know is on a red leather strap. So I see Samoa Joe holding a title, and it's a black strap, okay? And I look really close to it. Dude, it's the old TNA World Heavyweight title. Maybe Devon hadn't had a chance to FedEx that old title back. Or maybe they're going to use the old mold of the title. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should keep the old TNA title, television title? Or do you think they should maybe use the old version of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and make that into the television championship? Very, very interesting. I was really, really looking close at that. But yep, we have a new TNA champion. We move on and we go backstage, and we see Sting with Hulk Hogan, and it's so funny. This young lady comes up to them and she says, "Oh yeah, Bruce Pritchard needs you to sign some papers. Yeah, sign some papers." "Oh yeah, brother. You don't work here, dude, but I'll sign these papers." They get pepper sprayed in the face by the young lady, and then they get kidnapped. Yes, the Aces and Eights kidnap Hulk Hogan and Sting, throw the bags over their head, tie them up, and take them to the clubhouse. We're going to find out what happens with Hogan and Sting in a few minutes. We move on. It is gut check time. Now, since I didn't do a recap last week, I'm going to do a quick recap of the match last week, or just give you my idea of what I think of the match. And Doug Williams was freaking stiff. I thought that this kid, if everything in the backstory is true, I really feel the kid did one hell of a job, man. I mean, they had this other character a couple of weeks ago who supposedly been wrestling for years, and I thought this kid did his job. And what was his job? To not win the match, or to make the other wrestler look really good while wrestling against him. And I think this kid, Evan M., because I don't know how to say his last name, I don't want to make a mistake, I don't want to disrespect the kid, but I think he did a really, really decent job. I really would like to know what you guys think of this young man. And I think eventually you're going to see this kid on the indie circuit a little more, and then eventually he'll be on the TNA roster down the line. But yeah, Doug Williams was really, really stiff. I don't know if he was trying to prove a point in the ring, but he really beat the living hell out of this kid last week. The kid gets in the ring, and Taz gives him a yes. He says that, if you're going to learn, I want you to learn under the banner of TNA. And Bruce Pritchard gave him a no. And then the kid cuts what I thought was a pretty heartfelt promo, but unfortunately Al Snow doesn't think the kid's ready yet. And I was actually kind of disappointed for the kid. I usually don't care. I mean, all due respect, I don't care, but I felt bad for the kid. I think the kid really wants it. I think the kid eventually will earn it, deserves it, and it's just a growing experience for this young man. And yep, so he doesn't no gut check win for this young man. No contract. We're gonna move on backstage. We go backstage and we see Sting and Hulk Hogan tied up in the clubhouse of Aces and Eights. And in the shadows, we see the leader of Aces and Eights. And the leader basically stipulates to Hulk Hogan that he wants Hulk Hogan's best two versus their best two at Bound for Glory. And Hulk Hogan says, "Brother, it'll be me and Sting." And the leader says he doesn't want Hulk Hogan to be involved. He wants Hulk Hogan to sit back and watch. He basically said, "If we win, we get full access to TNA. But if you win, we go away." Hulk Hogan agrees. So it'll be Hulk Hogan's best two versus the Aces and Eights best two at Bound for Glory. We move on to the tag team match between Bully Ray, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and Jeff Hardy. Now, I'm a big proponent, of Bully Ray getting a title run, but I'm really looking forward to see what Jeff Hardy and Austin Aries will do in the ring together. I think it's going to be phenomenal. If they're both in their A game, they are two of the best in the world. Did you hear that, CM Punk? Austin Aries is one of the best in the world, along with Danny O'Brien. Top notch. But that's my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. So this match was a match of miscommunication. Jeff Hardy and Austin Aries are having problems communicating, and there was a point where Jeff Hardy just wouldn't get tagged in. Austin Aries didn't want to tag him in. Austin Aries actually had Bobby Roode up in the brainbuster, nails him with it, stumbles back, and Jeff Hardy tagged himself in. Hits him with the Swanton Bomb, gets the clean 1, 2, 3. They start arguing, they go at each other. I thought the night was going to end there, but apparently not. Aces and Eights pull up backstage. And they drop off Hulk Hogan and Sting. Sting's about to go at the Aces and Eights, but Aces and Eights, they have a knife. Very small knife. Sting could have probably knocked it out of his hand, but they had a knife. And Sting backs off. And Hulk Hogan says, hold on, dude, they got Joseph Parker, brother. And Sting says, I know, but I'm coming back, and I'm bringing somebody with me. Who is this person going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen next week at TNA? I would like to know what your thoughts are. Please, ladies and gentlemen, check out my friends, Bill Apter, Lady B from NYC, and the mysterious Mass Tweeter X here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling video. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Please follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. I say this every week. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic week. I'll see you next week. Peace.